What is going on, guys? It is your boy, Eternal Alien, back at again for another video, and today is a very sad day because 29 people have died in the last 13 hours in mass shootings. There was a shooting in El Paso, Texas at a Walmart, and now I don't know where today's shooting was. I haven't looked that much into it. All I know is that 10 are dead, and there is a serious problem going on. This is like a rain terrorism on our country, but that's not really what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about a interview basically with the Texas governor. I think if I mess this up, I'm very bad at politics, but yeah, an interview with the Texas governor on CNN that outraged thousands of people on Twitter and is the number one trending Twitter like keyword. I don't really know, but video games. 389,000 people are tweeting about this. Dr. Lupo, Call of Duty News, everyone is outraged. Even other politicians are saying it's not the problem, and the problem is gun control. So yeah, let's get into that. In this video, I'm going to try and steer away from politics because in the end, I'm just making this video for you guys' entertainment and keeping you covered on the crazy stuff that is going on online. And I'm going to try and stay as positive as possible, even though this is a very sad topic. Even though it's not really the topic we're talking about, it's still just sad to think about. Yeah, but anyways, before we get into it, I want to say my last video was a little bit different. If you did not know, I'm very interested in lost media, so if you'd like to see more videos like that, go ahead and comment down below and tell me. But with no further ado, my socials and donation links are down below in the description. Let's get into the video. So first of all, I'm going to show you the snippet of this clip of an interview of the Texas governor with CNN that kind of caused the outrage. So here you go.
This evil act, and let's condemn it for what it is. Evil. Evil. And I say, how long are we going to let, for example, and ignore at the federal level particularly, where they can do something about the video game industry? You know, in this manifesto that we believe is from the shooter, this manifesto, he talks about living out his super soldier fantasy on Call of Duty. We know that the video game industry is bigger than the movie industry and the music industry combined. And there have been studies that say it impacts people and studies that says it does not. But I look at the common denominators as a 60-some-year-old father and grandfather myself. What's changed in this country? We've always had guns. We've always had evil. But what's changed where we see this rash of shooting? And I see a video game industry that teaches young people to kill. You know, in his manifesto, he said this is not a Republican or Democrat thing because he was concerned about robots and environment and immigrants. Obviously, a hate crime.
All right, so the rest of the video, it's like 2 or more minutes long, but it's basically just him ranting and him saying what the problems he thinks he thinks there is, sorry. But first of all, I feel like this video game excuse is just something they're trying to come up with to sound like they know what's going on, because they really don't. They don't know why this is happening. It's just random acts of terrorism. And people that play, like, he may play violent video games, but so does everyone else. So does a lot of normal people. Millions of normal people play Call of Duty. What else? Gears of War, Mortal Kombat, very, very violent video games, and aren't tempted to do this. And I feel like it's just something these insane people that just want to cause terrorism use as an excuse to say, oh yeah, I do it because the video games influence me to do it. That is definitely not the reason. What I'm saying is that it's not like, okay, they play violent video games on the side, but that's not the reason. That's not the only reason. That's just something they do. They're either mentally insane or just terrorists. A lot of them don't have mental issues. They're just like, they've probably been desensitized by the internet to thinking it's okay, or by the dark web or politicians or whatever. But I can maybe 1 or 2 of these terrorists had some influence from video games, because I'm not saying that it's impossible for someone to be influenced to do something by video games, but Also, these politicians act like the only video games that exist are violent. They act like they want to get rid of the entire video game industry, even though millions, maybe even billions of people just play games because they're fun. And I'm sure these terrorists also play video games just because they want to play video games, and probably not for some other vulgar reason. Now, maybe they do find joy of the violent things they're doing in the game, but it didn't influence them. They were probably already influenced, not by the cause of a video game. But, like, why do these politicians have to bring that up? Like, why can't they just respect the families and explain the story of what's going on, other than making some random excuse to fill up time on the news to, like, just make some sense of it? Now, I understand maybe these politicians are confused. I am confused too. Like, why every single day almost there's a new terrorist act? But I just strongly believe it's not video games. So now let's look at some good tweets from Dr. Lupo and Call of Duty News that kind of explain their side on the berating this guy. Can I just say the entirety of Twitter is destroying this guy right now. Now, Dr. Lupo said something really great. He said the only thing desensitizing these people to do acts of gun violence is gun violence. And he's basically saying that video games is just an excuse so that they don't have to fix the actual problem, which that is a bold assumption, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, obviously the problem is gun violence, and it's they just want to act like that's not the problem, even though they have to know it is the problem, or they're crazy. And it's just corrupt how they're doing this, and the news is brainwashing people into thinking that they need to get their children off video games because of this reason. Now, let's look at Call of Duty News this week. So what Call of Duty News is saying is very different, and obviously he's not in the country, but he's saying that it's not video games are played worldwide, but it seems that the U.S. is the only place that this kind of stuff happens. Now, there are a few exceptions. There's a lot of countries that have constant terrorist attacks, but the U.S. is like a major built-up country, first world, very wealthy country, but this kind of stuff doesn't happen in the U.K., so it just makes no sense to use this as an excuse. So that's pretty much all I got to say for the video. I'm not going to lie, this kind of stuff does get me pretty triggered because I am an avid video game player, and I play a lot of these games that they're accusing of brainwashing these people into doing terrorist acts, and I strongly disagree with it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like commentaries, this isn't my usual commentary. Most of my commentaries are positive and funny, but yeah, go check out my other videos. If you're interested in lost media, check out my last video. It is a little bit different, and I'll probably do more videos like that. And yeah, I'm just seeing now that I hit 200 subs, so thank you guys so much for that. That is a great milestone for me. I've been wanting to hit 200 subs ever since I had that Neo Legends video blow up. But anyways, hope you enjoyed, and my socials and donation links are in the description below. Become a Patreon today, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.